Hi, I'm Johnny Vergaeren. I'm a personal coach. After receiving many emails on this topic, I finally concluded this video that I'm presenting this to you on why so many relationships fail today. I've made an exclusive and intensive research on this matter, and this is why this is going to be part 1 out of 2 videos that I'm presenting to you. Now, why so many relationships fail today and what we can learn from mistakes of others so we won't make the same mistakes ourselves. This took a lot of work of many months. This is going to be in your face. As I said, as it is. And if you can't handle the truth, this is the time to click off. Before I start, I want to say that I believe that in most cases, it's the man's fault. The relationship breaks down because a lot of men today stop being men. They stop leading, they stop having a purpose in their lives, they drop the ball, and women do not want to be a therapist. Although many women contribute to this too, as they emasculate their men and do not encourage their men, and they're in shock when he suddenly goes. So let's get into your faces and tell you the truth without the fluff. Many men, many people today do not live in the real world. After watching movies of Hollywood and the internet and reading bad magazines, their expectations are not realistic. And some women look for a partner that is strong, but emotionally balanced. And they read bad magazines that give them lists of what a real man should be, and those men do not exist. Some men, after watching so much porno on the net, their expectations from women are really impossible. There is no woman like that in the real world. Communication. Communication is mentioned a million times. The problem with that is that we men and women see communication differently. Women need to get to the facts ASAP, and women need to understand that sometimes we as men will not agree with you. Men need to understand that women sometimes need to talk just for the sake of talking. And we men do not need to offer a solution. All we need to say as men, I understand. Look into her eyes, kiss her and hug her. Women will never ask that they want to be held and told that you are special. I am here for you. And women need to understand that we men, from time to time, we need silence. We don't need to say anything, and it doesn't mean there is a problem. We are just relaxing. And also communication that can be destructive, that we're talking at each other or screaming at each other and raising voices instead of talking to one another. Trying to fix one another, blaming our partner on our own issues, or one of the partners holding onto an emotional issues and not talking about it, and holding on to it gets worse and worse, or taking our frustrations from work and putting onto our partner when it's really not their fault. One of the partner keeps a score, and that score will always be in our favors as we put more weight on what we do rather than what our partner does for us. Women need to understand that as men, we sometimes need to be alone, and we need men's company. Another reason is not being a challenge, being boring and predictable. Men need to be men and take on new challenges and new tasks and have a passion for one's life. No woman wants to be with someone or any man that is indecisive and has got no goals in his life. Not being a happy person individually, with no one, by yourself. Not loving oneself, being empty inside and not having your own identity. Thinking he or she will fill up your emotional needs, and therefore blaming things on their partner when things don't turn out the way you expect. Day-to-day life issues or problems that contribute to relationship breakdown, like financial issue, mortgage and pressures. Not enough time to do fun things with your partner. And your partner becomes secondary. To make things work, we have to make time for one another, as we need to eat daily, especially women. We need to be reassured daily. And yes, a good hug, a good kiss, a good nice message or whatever. Our emotions need to be fed, and most people neglect that. Affairs that look appealing outside your relationship or your marriage, thinking it'll be better somewhere with him or her, when really those experiences you can share together. Today the internet makes it easy to have an affair, and we are continuously bombarded and shown images of men using our imagination. So we think that man or woman is out there, when in reality those people rarely exist. It's just selling your hope. Also, some people continuously, no matter who they are with, they are not happy. They do everything to get this partner or that partner. Once they have them, they don't want them. And they continue always looking for that perfect person that doesn't exist. If they're playing around, they have two people. If with number one, they wish with number two. And with number two, they wish with number one. And the truth is, they don't like themselves. Once people change their partners continuously, they will later encounter different problems with different people. I personally know a few men and women that they wish were back with their first partner. I will not go into affairs here. If your partner had one, if you should forgive them or not, as it all depends on the circumstances, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is for another video. Making your partner jealous or planting seeds of doubt in their heads and making those seeds grow like fire in the mind, that can be backfire on you. We have a conditioned society today of men that think that if I have money, I'll be able to buy her love, or this or that. You may put a smoke screen at her at the beginning and she'll get blown away, but later on she will see straight through you. And no matter what you may buy her, it will not fulfill her emotional needs as a woman. Emotional needs are more paramount than any money, clothes or jewelry, etc. Like I said in another video of mine called Why So Many Men Fail with Women, go and check it out. It's not that they don't like material goods, it's just you cannot buy emotions, love, passion and affection. Either we are a passionate man, an affectionate man, or you're not. And if you're not paying attention, looking into her eyes with love, listening and sharing feelings and thoughts and experiences as though are extremely important to women, more than all the material goods that you think that are important. Stopping to date your partner and not building up your partner in your mind with passion, love and taking for granted or talking negatively about your partner to other people, the more you do so, the more you demean them, and the less attractive they will become in your eyes. Stopping having fun and doing silly things together. Having fun for no reason. Not forgiving and moving on. Not willing to compromise. Lack of trust or abuse in a committed relationship. Midlife crisis as one person goes off the rail when really we cannot control what the other person does. Men becoming boring, predictable, and not leading, and not surprising or not creating romance, taking the initiative. Be a man, lead. That's part of being a man. And a lot of men neglect that. Romance can be even little things. That doesn't cost money. Just walking on a beach, all you need to do is mixing up those little things and going to different places. When your partner becomes angry with everything, or needy and desperate, and continuously complains about everything, or the partner is depressed, and carrying that particular person can be very hard, especially in the long run as it's draining. You should help, but we all need to help ourselves first. Not growing, not continuing to learn together, and individually with work and new challenges. You can speak about, if you speak about the same things you did 5 years ago, it will cause your partner to have less attraction to them because it becomes boring. And that's why we have to create new challenges again and again. Men fail to understand that it's not the big presents that count for women, it's the frequency. It's better to get her 10 presents of the value of $20 or whatever, or a card, as long as it's individual and it spikes her emotions, than buying her a big present like a car. At the same time, men need to understand that it has to be unpredictable and if it's not boring to women. What matters to women is the variety. And when doing so, it feeds her soul and emotional needs. A lot of people today give up too easily, too quick, thinking it'll be somewhere else better. Not understanding you need to give before you receive. Don't say I won't give to her or him before he gives to me. It's a two-way street. Two people. It takes two people to tango. And people sometimes do not take into account the needs of other people, their partner. Women need to understand that continuously put tests on their man, and eventually if they continue to put tests on the man will fail. Let things just be. Women depriving sex from their man in a committed suicide, rejecting them again and again, it makes us as men less likely to try. And then afterwards they're surprised when men go somewhere else. Expectations. Men and women are looking for that euphoric feeling you have with that one person that will last forever. In reality, this is an impossible mission. Unless you work on yourself, it will not last. You just cannot get complacent. Excuse me. Another issue is women changing their mind constantly. We may need to know, but if you keep changing our mind, it confuses us. Women saying, if he doesn't know, then I'm not going to tell him. Well, I'm sorry. If you continue this behavior, you will not get what you need. Sometimes you have to ask for what you need. Not creating new and exciting things for one another, like going out on a special date once in 3 weeks. It's the man's duty to take the initiative. Appreciation. Women sometimes have to say to their man, you are sexy, you are well dressed, you're a good lover, a good provider, or whatever, to reinforce the love, as most of us men need to hear this from time to time. As men, we have to compliment our woman on her hairstyle, makeup, shoes, or whatever. Change the compliments. Don't say, like most men, you are beautiful, you are beautiful. It becomes boring. She's heard it a million times. Mix it up. Another problem why relationships break down today is exhausted arguments that are going nowhere, as some people love drama. They feel they have a need to spice up the relationship when sometimes that might backfire on them. And sometimes we may think to ourselves, what's the point being with them? Or some people, once they're in a relationship, they make out of minor issues big deals. You have to move on. If he or she left the plate or left the toilet seat up, it's no big deal. You may mention it to them, but forgive and forget. Women not understanding that we need 30 to 45 minutes to get from a work mode into a relationship mode. Alcohol and drug abuse that causes all sorts of issues can only make your relationships disintegrate and eventually to break up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part 1, why relationships break down. As you see, I've done extensive research. Please be tuned for part 2 that will come very, very shortly. This may be very, 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 very deep for a lot of people, but if you take and look at the things I mentioned so far, I'm sure you can learn a few things. Please be staying tuned for part 2, coming up very soon. In the meantime, have a great day. I'm your friend, Johnny Forget. See you soon.